welcome to another episode of the Every Day is a New Day show. I'm your host, Kim O'Neill from KimO'NeillCoaching.com, and I'm so excited to be here with you today. Today, I have with me a best-selling author, Joel Salomon. He is the new best-selling author of Mindful Money Management. And so actually, hello, Joel. Thank you for being here.
Hi, Kim. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate you having me on the show. Thanks so much. I'm really grateful for you.
Absolutely. No, I'm grateful for you too, because I love, I'll get into that in just a moment. I want to first say, before we get into talking to Joel and all the wonderful things he's going to share with us, I just want to say to everyone watching today, ask yourself, what have you done for you today? Because as energies get intense around us, we start to feel it more and more in our body. And this just brings us back to the importance of taking care of ourselves first before we do anything else. So just a little reminder there for anyone who maybe is benefiting from hearing that. And I'm just going to take a quick look, make sure that we are showing up on Facebook. I think that we are, but let me take a quick look here. And let's see here, because I don't want you to miss out on anything that Joel is sharing. And yes, there we are. So thank you for being with us. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and close Facebook. And for those that are here, if you would go ahead and just say hello, like, comment, and whatever, let us know that you're here. That would be fantastic. And if you're loving this show, please go ahead and also share it so we can spread the inspiration and the growth and all these things that come as we listen to inspirational speakers like Joel. And that's actually, I don't think that's the title he's given himself, but that's what I'm going to call him for right now. So, okay. And we will be checking the comments as we go to also check in with you. So, but let's get back to Joel now. So, Joel, how are you doing this morning?
I am doing awesome. Thanks so much, Kim. Thanks for asking. And thanks again for having me on.
Absolutely. So, okay, let me go ahead and read just a little bit of Joel's bio so you can have an idea of what Joel is about. So, Joel's, you know what? Okay. And Joel, actually, I meant to verify this with you first. I want to make sure I pronounce your last name correctly. Is it Salomon?
It is. You got it right.
Oh, thank goodness. Okay. Okay, good. Okay. So, yeah, that's something we should do always before. And that's on me. So, okay, let me get back to Joel Salomon's bio. So Joel is a prosperity coach. He works closely with his clients to help identify and overcome the roadblocks standing in their way of personal financial freedom. He's spent over 20 years analyzing, rating, and reporting on global insurers and has over a decade of experience investing in financial stocks and working at insurance and reinsurance companies. Joel holds a bachelor's degree from the University of Rochester, where he graduated magna cum laude with a double major in mathematics and statistics. And he is also a certified infinite possibilities trainer, something I personally love. Joel Salomon is committed to helping people become financially free. And you can find out more at SaLaurMor.com, and I'll spell it SaLaurMor.com. So there we are. And that is Joel in a nutshell. And now we would love to hear more about him. So, Joel, you are on the East Coast, correct?
I am. So
okay.
It is 2 o'clock, a little after 2 p.m. Eastern Standard.
Okay. So it's late morning over here, early afternoon over there. And so glad that we were finally able to coordinate a time to do this, because juggling our schedules took a little bit of effort, right? But we did it. So, Joel, let's kick off with, even though I read your bio and I shared with you in a nutshell the bio that you provided me, what else would you like to share about who you are and what you do with the audience?
Thanks, Kim, for the question. So first of all, I am a dedicated and very proud father of 2 beautiful, talented, awesome daughters, Lauren and Morgan, who you may get from the name of my company, SaLaurMor. So it's named after Lauren and Morgan. And
okay. I love it.
I don't know if the viewers can see, but in the back over my right or left shoulder, depending on which way you're looking, you may see some pictures of Lauren and Morgan from a few years ago.
A little bit.
So, and just to celebrate a little bit, happy birthday, Lauren. Lauren turned 14 today. Morgan turned 12 3 days ago. So I have a
Oh,
14 and 12-year-old. And yes, so I'm a dedicated father and very proud father of them. They are both very talented and amazing, beautiful kids. And I tell everyone that I learned first about unconditional love, and this book is dedicated to them, of course, from them. So it's, you can talk about love all you want, but unconditional love is something very special. And so I love talking about unconditional love, and it came from that. And the book is dedicated to my daughters, Lauren and Morgan, for teaching me about unconditional love and, of course, teaching me every day, all day. So thank you.
oh my gosh, Joel. So I know you don't know a lot about me, but that just always speaks to me, seeing a father's love for his daughter, because that's part of my journey in life. So that's beautiful. And I think that's an awesome share that you gave us this morning. So thank you for that. And hello to Susan and Nori, who are here with us. Thank you for being here. So Joel, tell us a little bit more. What is your story, or at least how do you answer that question?
So I am a prosperity coach, as you mentioned, and some have called me a money shrink. And
Okay.
my goal is to help at least 100,000 people become financially free. I work closely with my clients to help them identify roadblocks in the way of getting to financial freedom. No one really talks about their subconscious views around money that they learn between ages 0 and 10. And I work with my clients to figure out what those subconscious beliefs are and how they can overcome any roadblocks on the way to financial freedom. And I have 3 different modules. I have an investment education module. I have a money mindset module, a manifesting module, and then I have another module that is all about financial freedom, the flow, the budgeting. And of course, the money mindset goes across all of those different curriculums that I have, but people can work on each one individually if they want, or all 3. And so that's my prosperity coaching curriculum. But let me tell you why and how I became a prosperity coach.
Yes, I would love to hear more.
So it was December 2015. I had started my own hedge fund in 2012, so I'd been managing for about 3 years. And I went to this course because I wanted to get my hedge fund to the next level. We had done well in 2013. We were up 10% in just 6 months. We were up again in 14. But we really, in order to get to the next level and be a long-term viable company, I needed to get a lot more investors. So I went to this course that talked about how you could get more investors, how you could have better communication with your employees, with your shareholders, with investors. It seemed perfect for exactly what I needed in December 2015. So I signed up, I went down to Florida, and 2 things happened at that course, 2 things that changed my life. One was they had a guest speaker who came in to teach us about stocks and stock options.
Okay.
And he gave the example how if you had just invested in a put option and a call option right before Facebook's first earnings call in May of 2013, you would have made 10 times your money. And he gave other examples just like that.
Okay.
And I was sick to my stomach because options are not riskless. You can lose money. And he was being completely disingenuous, not authentic, misleading, and some may say potentially lying. And so I had that happen. People actually knew, this was day 2 of the conference, people knew I was a hedge fund manager. They were tapping me on the shoulder. They were whispering to me, Joel, does this make sense? So we went outside. I said, please don't do this. So that was the first thing that happened at that course. The second thing that happened at that course was we were given a wooden board 2 inches thick. And we were told we had to break it with our bare hand.
Okay.
The name of the exercise was called Obstacles or Illusions. And we had to break that board with our hand, but first we had to write on one side of the board our obstacle, and then on the other side our goal.
Nice.
So I wrote as my obstacle, raising enough money for my hedge fund for it to be massively profitable and a long-term viable entity. And then I wrote my goal on the other side of the board, which was to help everybody in this room become financially free. And then I broke the board like everyone else did in that room. And I went home that night, and one, I realized there was a non sequitur, right? Like, why does raising more money for my hedge fund have anything to do with helping all those people in that room? And two, I realized that my goal was my true purpose in life. And I know that may sound like a cliche, but it is true. And I went into my office the next morning after staying up all night the board was staring back at me all night, making everyone in that room financially free. And I went into my office the next morning. I sent an email to my investors saying, I'm shutting down my hedge fund. I'm giving you your money back because I figured out my true purpose in life. And so here I am.
Wow.
Sorry, you cut up there, Kim, for a second.
Oh, no, I just said, how did they respond to that?
Great question. I was very surprised with their reaction. And their reaction was minimal, if at all. I didn't get much of a reaction, which made me realize that yes, this is the right path. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. If I had gotten massive uproar, if I had gotten, you're crazy, all kinds of emails, then who knows? But I would have still continued on my path, but I didn't get any kinds of those responses. So I really knew deep down this was truth. This was what I'm supposed to be doing.
Not that it really matters how they responded, right? Because once you know or feel that sense of this is my purpose, it's almost like nothing can really get in your way. You will find a way to make it happen. But I was just curious because that is so bold and big of you to say, I found my purpose. I'm taking a hike, I'm leaving. And that's pretty awesome. I love that. I bet on some level you actually inspired them to even consider what might their purpose be.
Hopefully.
Yeah, awesome. And okay, I have one more question for you about that board because I've seen other people do that exercise. I haven't yet done it, but I just want to know, is there a trick to breaking a board with your hand, or is it really all mindset?
It's all mindset. It's obstacles or illusions. I mean, and it was, I didn't really go to the backstory, but the guy who taught us how to do it spent 45 minutes up on stage
trying to break
explaining the process.
Okay.
So how you set up and how the holders hold the board and how the person who's breaking board has to set up with his hand beyond the board and picture yourself breaking the board and not hesitating because hesitation equals pain and in anything in life, and how the more you think about it, the bigger the obstacle becomes, and how fear can overcome and stop you from taking action. It was all about the mind. And
wow.
I mean, 200 people in the room, 200 people broke that board, and people were not strong, very strong, old, young, male, female, whatever. Everyone broke the board.
Wow, that's awesome. And we have a few new people with us here. So hello to Debbie. She says, hi guys, Debbie from New Orleans. And we have Robin Panos who talks about your book. She says, we loved your book, Joel. Mike P. and Robin P. I'll just show that one on the screen there. So thank you to all of you who have joined us. And let me take that down. So Joel, what life lessons have you learned that have had the greatest impact on your life so far?
It's a great question. I'd say one is acting as if, and I talk about this in my book.
Okay.
There's a great quote from Dorothea Brand. Act as if it's impossible to fail. Act as if it's impossible to fail. Well, let's talk about acting as if. So when I started my hedge fund in December 2012, I had moved into commercial real estate space on the corner of Madison and 54th Street. I felt like I'd arrived.
Okay.
And I had hired an auditor, an accountant, a lawyer, a fund administrator, a compliance company. The money was flowing, just not in.
Oh.
And I had two investors that had signed up, given me oral commitments to be investors in my fund. And I walked into my office on December 17, 2012, and within 2 weeks they had both vanished. I had no money, and I had all those expenses. So I could have given up, right? I could have said, well, this just wasn't meant to be. Maybe this wasn't my dream job. But this dream job, or is it, in Mindful Money Management, the best-selling book that just came out a few weeks ago. So act as if. What did I do to act as if we already had the money? I hired an analyst. I worked with him every morning to put together a portfolio of stocks that we were going to bet that were going to go up and other stocks that were going to bet that were going to go down as a hedge fund. That's what we did.
Okay.
We put together this portfolio. We had morning calls every morning talking with each other. Okay, what stock should we add? What stock should we take out? In the portfolio that we were working on, we checked performance every single day. Performance that we didn't really have performance on. And we went to conferences. We called on the companies we were invested in. We acted as if we already had the money, day after day, week after week. I even interviewed a chief financial officer who was going to be my chief CFO, COO, the chief compliance officer. We acted as if, day after day, week after week, and within 2 months, we had our first investor. Pretty powerful. And I know it's like crazy, right? A lot of those steps, while we were doing them, people would say, you're crazy. Why have a morning call? Why check your performance? But acting as if works.
Well, and I mean, that's just what you did with the board as well. You acted as if you could break it with your hand, and you did.
Right.
Yeah.
And another life lesson is doubting the doubt. From that conference, even though they had a guest speaker that wasn't great, there were a lot of life lessons at that conference in December 15. And one of them was doubt the doubt. That was a great quote. And so that was from December 2015, but I was actually doing that many years earlier. See, I was an actuary at New York Life Insurance Company. I talk about this also in chapter 2. And my dream, I thought, at least one of my first dreams, was to be a hedge fund manager, to manage other people's money. So in 1992, I had become a fellow of the Society of Actuaries, working at New York Life, but I really wasn't enjoying my day job. But in the evenings and weekends, I would get onto the Bloomberg machine, which was a machine that had a lot of data for what I was doing during my day job, analyzing bonds and giving bond information to my boss. But I realized I could analyze stocks on Bloomberg as well. And so my evenings and my weekends doing a hobby of mine, analyzing stocks. And I said, so how do I align my hobby and my career? And I talked to a lot of people, one actuary who was on Wall Street. At the time, there were very few actuaries outside of life insurance companies or actuarial firms. And this one guy said, well, you have to go to a rating agency. And so before I went to a rating agency, I asked a lot of other actuaries inside the company, talked to friends and family members. I said, my dream is to be a hedge fund manager. And they said, Joel, you just spent 7 years taking actuarial exams. The actuary is on the cover of Fortune magazine as the best job in the country. Why would you want to switch? And so I doubted the doubt. So everyone was doubting me. I started doubting myself. Well, should I have this dream? Should I actually do this? And I doubted the doubt. I said, no, this is what my path is, and I'm going to take a path to do this. And I got an interview with Moody's, a rating agency, and took a job as a grunt there. And again, everyone's saying, well, you're taking a pay cut, 20-30% pay cut to do this. And I said, well, this is my path. This is my vision to becoming a hedge fund manager. It eventually got there. It took me almost 15 years. And doubting the doubt sometimes the doubt was pretty powerful, but I doubted the doubt off and on over those 15 years to achieve my dream.
Well, what I love about that is, first off, that takes a lot of courage to go against the grain, go against what might be showing up in literature out in the world, what all the people are saying. That takes a lot of guts to do that. But secondly is it sounds like your own life satisfaction is what was at risk if you hadn't done that. So you gave yourself 15 years of probably, well, you tell me, it sounds like you probably gave yourself an additional 15 years of being more satisfied and more joyful on your journey to accomplishing that vision, as opposed to 15 years doing what everyone else said, oh, this is the best.
Correct. I had this vision and I was working step by step on the path to it. And again, chapter 2, my dream jobber, is it goes through that whole journey of all the different circuitous routes potentially one may say to get there. But I had my math teacher in 12th grade said, there's a method to my madness, probably 12 times a day. And that kind of got ingrained in my head. But there was a method to my madness. If someone looks at my career from New York Life, and then I went to Moody's, and then I went to Swiss Re, and then I went to a small hedge fund as an analyst, there was no, if you looked at it, you said, well, why did he do all these different steps? But there was a method to the madness.
Well, let's talk a little bit about your book now. So I know on the front cover of your book, you have a quote from Mike Dooley. And do you have a copy there? Oh, you froze. Uh-oh, Joel. Joel? This is where I do my stay tuned dance. Hello, Joel, can you hear me? Oh, no. Joel, hello. Can you out there watching hear? Oh, I heard a voice. You're frozen on the screen, but I heard a voice. Joel. Oh no! This is the best part. No, it's all best. So I see we have some viewers, and okay. So Joel, I'm sure, is coming right back with us. So some of you here have already read Joel's book. Would you love to share with us more? I would love for you to share with us more what your takeaways were from that book. And looks like Joel is coming back to us. I see you, Joel. You're a little frozen still. Oh, can you hear me?
I can.
Okay. Looks like we're good. Okay, Debbie. So Debbie. Okay, so there's a little bit of a lag time. So I have a feeling that in a few seconds, they are all going to see that you are back as well. So we're all good. Let's continue. I had said out there to everyone watching that if you've read Joel's book, please share with us what your takeaways were in the comments, and we'll take a look at those in a moment. But okay, so Joel, yes. Do you have a copy of your book that you'd love to maybe show the audience?
There it is.
Yay! And you know what? I wonder if you can get close to that quote on top from Mike Dooley. What does that say there? It's life experiences. Yeah, go ahead.
So Joel's life experiences and spiritual grounding made him an ideal sage for money management. His words inspire as much as they offer readers immediate traction. That's Mike Dooley, the New York Times bestselling author of Infinite Possibilities.
That's awesome. So I want to bring that up because I love how you come from this space of knowing all about math and numbers and statistics and insurance and actuarial stuff. And then you've also paired it with infinite possibilities and going beyond maybe what is perceived as the practical. And I would love to know how you moved into that space and what made you want to pair infinite possibilities with this, or you kind of get where I'm going with this?
Yes. And I am very, very excited to have been chosen to speak at Mike Dooley's Train the Trainer course for Infinite Possibilities in New Orleans next month. I am just so grateful.
Congratulations.
And thank you. Thank you. And I apologize for those who are going to be there and going to hear this. So this is a tiny little part of my speech that I'm going to give. And it goes to this question, which I don't believe in coincidences. I only believe in synchronicities. And in July of 2016, I reached out to a woman who was a health coach because I was becoming a prosperity coach, and I wanted to know how she got clients and what she'd do and what her methods were. And so I was asking her a lot of questions. And at the end of our conversation, she says to me, "So, Joel, am I going to see you in October?" And I said, "Why?" And she says, "Because Playing the Matrix is coming to New York." And I said, "Playing the what?" And she said, "Come on, you know, Notes from the Universe." And I said, "What?" She says, "Come on, you get Notes from the Universe, don't you?" I said, "No, I don't." She says, "Come on, Mr. Universe, Mike Dooley." So I get this picture in my head of Arnold Schwarzenegger, and then she explains to me who Mike Dooley is, and so I trust this woman, and so I go in October 2016 to Playing the Matrix, not really knowing much about it, but it's in Rhinebeck, New York, which is an hour from my house, beautiful campus, Omega Institute, so I go. And the first day, Mike is talking about how he's an accountant, he was an accountant, and how he went through his path to where he is today. And I hadn't read Infinite Possibilities. I didn't know anything about it. But chapter 1, he talked about thoughts become things. And the signature for my email address for years, from 2012 when I started my hedge fund, was at the very bottom, thoughts are things. No coincidences, only synchronicities. And then you could say, well, what's the difference between an actuary and an accountant? Well, an actuary looks at his feet when he talks to you, an accountant looks at your feet when they talk to you.
Okay.
Or they say an accountant is an actuary with charisma. So we're quite similar.
Okay, so it sounds like you were already in a space of being aware that there's more than just what we see with our eyes, that as we put energy out there, that energies align. And it sounds like that was the message about Playing the Matrix came to you at just the right moment to pair now everything you've learned about math with the whole matrix and all that. Does that sound?
Yeah, absolutely. With Playing the Matrix, okay. With Infinite Possibilities, with Law of Attraction, all that kind of came together.
I know we have some people here who know what Playing the Matrix is. Would you be able to just in a nutshell describe it for those who are maybe confused and don't know what that is?
Sure. So Playing the Matrix is really there's not getting focused on the cursed hows, but focusing on end result. So focus on happiness. Focus on, I think he has like 5 major goals. So it could be happiness, it could be wealth, it could be health, but not getting bogged down in, okay, I need to do this, 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 and this to get to happiness, or I need to do this, this, and this to get to health, but just focus on the end result. and not get bogged down in the cursed house of how you're going to get there. That's it in a
Okay.
nutshell.
Okay. Thank you for that. Yeah. And I haven't taken Playing the Matrix yet. But yeah, and it just sounds like creating your life, designing your life with the end in mind and not focusing on how it's all going to come together.
Correct.
Okay, awesome. And let's just take a quick look here because we've got a few comments about you. So Debbie says, woohoo, Joel, rocking it. See you in New Orleans at Train the Trainer. Can't wait to see you again. Thank you, Debbie, for sharing that. And Melanie says, the book was great. I learned perseverance. Wow, that's awesome. Your dream will take time to develop. Learn during the journey. Oh, that's a really good one. Would you like to comment on that, Joel, about learning during the journey?
Yeah, it's a great point because the journey of a lot of people say, okay, well, this is the goal and I really got to get to the goal, but you are learning during the whole process of getting to that goal. And the journey is really it, right?
Yeah.
The journey is the whole point of it. So enjoy every step along the journey towards the goal because it's powerful. Like I had some, as I already said, some circuitous routes to get to being a hedge fund manager, right? And one of them was I went to Swiss Re to get private investment experience. So I was one step closer to public investments. Okay. And within 1 year, I was basically going to get laid off because the group was being disbanded.
Wow.
But I say from bad things come good things, and from really terrible things come awesome, great things. And what happened was I got a call from an actuary who's in another area of Swiss Re who said, do you know that credit risk management's looking for a guy with just your experience, with credit analysis experience, with actuarial experience? There's only one problem. You have to go work in Zurich, Switzerland. And he didn't know that I have a huge passion for traveling. And so it was like, oh my God, I can get to work in Zurich, be in the center of Europe and get to travel easily 1 or 2 hours to all these places that I've always wanted to see. In fact, in 1995, I visited a friend of mine, Ken Kim, in London with another buddy of mine, Rob Davidson. And I saw Ken living my dream life in 1995. He was an expat. He was in London. We went to Paris. He was telling us about all the trips he had already taken in just a few months. I was like, oh, I want that. And then 4 years later, I had that.
That's awesome. Yeah, I would be very excited by that too. So how long did you do that?
So it was supposed to be 6 months. It ended up being almost a year and a half because I kept on asking for more time and more time because I didn't see all of the countries and all the cities I wanted to, but I had the time of my life. And so from bad things come good things, and from terrible things come great things. And I was enjoying the journey. So one would have said, oh my God, you are no longer on your path to being a hedge fund manager, to being a money manager, back to doing credit analysis. And I just said, wow, this is an opportunity to live another part of my dream life.
So Joel, it seems now, okay, so as you share your story, it seems like it's been easy for you to shift perspective, but was that always the case for you?
Great question. Probably not. I'd say early on in my career and younger days, I was very much an analytical person and didn't really use this other part of my brain, the intuitive part, the part that really focuses on being happy. And I talk twice, actually there's probably 3 chapters in my book on feel good now, being happy, and unconditional happiness. So when I was younger, I was using the analytical part, the math part, and not really using this other part, which is, as I know now and as Mike teaches, 99% of it. It's the feelings, the thoughts, the vibration, the energy, and not so much. You can plan all you want, but if you're feeling down, depressed, sad, no matter how much you plan, you're not going to reach your goals.
So what was the turning point for you to start to add more of that into the way that you think and perceive and all of that?
That's a great question. I'm not sure exactly. I think there was a metamorphosis over time.
Yeah. Okay.
I may say that sometimes you have significant events in your life.
Yeah.
One significant event in my life was my divorce. It was very traumatic in this 2007, 2008, and I have a great support network that really helped me through it. But when that divorce happened with two young kids, my daughters were 3.5 and 1.5 at the time, it was trying. And so I think, again, from bad things come good things, from terrible things come great things. And I think over the last 10 years, that journey, that metamorphosis has taken place because of that fairly traumatic event in my life.
I can totally identify with that story, and thank you for sharing that, because I refer to this show, the Every Day is a New Day show, as an inspirational interview show about moving forward beyond challenging times. So it's not about, staying stuck in that story, but saying, hey, look, this awful thing can happen, and here's how I moved beyond it and where I am today because I chose to not give up then. So thank you for sharing that, because I feel like that's a key part of my intention for the show to help provide hope and inspiration for people. And so thank you for sharing that. So that's a testament to your spirit as well and your inner strength. And I'm going to also say probably some level of knowing that there's a lot more to come for you.
I believe so.
Yeah. Okay. So, so would you be open to sharing with the audience and myself a tip about mindful money management and how we can, whatever tip you'd like to share about mindful money management?
Okay. One I have is about beliefs, which is chapter 2 in my Infinite Possibilities bestseller.
Okay.
And I'll go back to 2008. I'm working at Citigroup as my first job as managing money. I was managing Citigroup's money as a hedge fund manager. And my boss had us fill out this form when we were picking a stock. And I was probably the only portfolio manager who actually filled out this form, but I did, and I actually continued to use it throughout the ensuing years. But one part of the form was, what's your conviction level in the stock? And most people just kind of blew it off. Well, if you're writing it up, you gotta have, if you 1 is absolute doubt and 10 is a knowing faith that it's gonna work, then you got to be a 10 if you're writing it up, right? But I took it to heart and took it literally. And so this is something I believe that no one ever talks about, or very few people talk about in their investments, is your belief level. So here's one example. 2 guys bought Bitcoin in the end of November of 2017, November 27th.
Okay.
One guy had done all his research, had done the mining, and actually created the Bitcoin and many years ago, and he's absolute faith, a 10. He knows it's going higher. It's at $8,000. Second guy buys Bitcoin same day on a tip from a friend. Oh, it's already gone up 8 times. Everyone else is making money on it. I probably could make money on it. Maybe. I think so. So he's a 3 on 1 to 10 scale. 1 being absolute doubt, 10 being absolute faith.
Okay.
So 3 days later, Bitcoin goes to $10,000. The first guy is like, awesome, I'm putting more money in. I got momentum, it's going higher. The second guy says, oh, thank God, it's up 25%. So happy, but wow, I hope I don't lose any money on this. 3 days later, Bitcoin's back at 8,000. First guy doubles down. He's all in. He knows it's going higher. The second guy sells. Thank God I broke even. I know it's going to go down. It's going to go down low more. It's going to go down more. 3 weeks later, Bitcoin's at 19,000. The first guy has made almost 250% on his money. The second guy doesn't even know where Bitcoin is. He's just thankful he's broken even. And so faith, absolute faith in your investment idea versus massive doubt. And I recommend to my clients to write down on every single idea before you invest. What's your conviction level? What's your belief level in the idea? And if it's low, well, let's overcome those limiting beliefs first before you invest. I actually had a client came to me a few weeks ago who said, well, the stock market's risky, so I'm not ever going to invest. Well, if you believe that, then yes, you're going to lose money. And so let's get your conviction level up, your belief level up to where you know you can make more, then invest elsewhere. Maybe it's real estate. Maybe it's other investment opportunities. And so I have affirmations on my website, abundance affirmations, that are free. If you go on to SaLaurMor.com, if you go into the manifesting program, it's free. You can download abundance affirmations. I have audio talks free on my website that you can download for free, and it'll work on your money mindset, it'll work on your general mindset, it'll work on self-esteem or motivation and so on. Those are all free. Unfortunately, you'll have to hear my voice, but they're free.
Okay, so really about focusing on or being aware, being mindful of your belief level in what you're investing in.
Correct.
Okay.
That's one tip. I got this. There's probably 10 or 12 or 15 in the book, so please take a look, read it. If you want, I know you're going to might ask me later, but I just wanted to put it out there.
Yeah.
For those people who go onto my website, SaLaurMor.com, if you fill out the Financial Freedom Survey, or you could actually get the book for free for today. If you fill out the Financial Freedom Survey, the first 10 people who do that will get a free book. Free paper book.
That's exciting. Okay, very cool. So go there. So go to SaLaurMor.com and that's okay, good.
SaLaurMor.com. Again, after my daughters, Lauren and Morgan.
Okay. And looks like we have some additional comments that came in. So hello to Mike Perlin. He was loving how you were talking about doubt the doubt. So just seeing those right here. And thank you, Debbie. There we go. SaLaurMor.com. We just put that on the screen. Thank you, Debbie. Appreciate that. Okay. So did you ever see yourself writing a book about money?
A long time ago, no, but more recently, yes. So again, I put it out there into the universe probably 2 years ago. And the story, it's a very interesting story. I figured, well, I had been writing investment letters to my investors and prospective investors on my hedge fund for 3 years. So I had 36 months of commentary, about 300 pages. I had a book. And then I figured I'd just write a paragraph about what was going on in my personal life during those each month in front of it. And then I'd have a little bit longer book. And I had some friends and acquaintances read it. And the comments I got were, please don't ever publish this. Don't put it out to the world. No one is going to read this book.
Oh.
So I said, okay, I'll write a little bit more in front of each of the investment letters. So I wrote a little bit more, and now I had probably 20 or 25,000 words besides the investment letters. And then I posted on Facebook to Infinite Possibilities group that I'm getting ready to publish. Anybody have any ideas about marketing and so on? And a few people reached out, and this one woman was really, really grateful for I'll say her name, Patty Hayes. She's probably changed my life and changed this book dramatically. And she said, no one's really going to be interested in the investment letters. You should probably take them out. And I said, but that's the book. That's the book. So she said, look, just sleep on it for a few weeks. Just put it down. Don't do more. And so I did. And I talked to some people and they said, maybe it could be good advice. And so I took the investment letters out. And I wrote more. I wrote more about mindfulness. I wrote more just from the gut, from my sixth sense. And a lot of stuff started flowing, and it's a very different book than it was 2 years ago. And by the way, if anyone ever wants the investment letters, they are free on the website, on my homepage. Anybody who wants those investment letters can read, can get insights into the stock market, about financial stocks, about individual securities that I wrote about on the website for free.
Okay. Well, okay. And so I'm curious, have you, because again, I love how you combine all of this, the whole mental side of things with the feelings and emotions that I know, are coming through infinite possibilities, but there's other ways we can marry the two subjects. Anyways, to me, I think of it always as the practical and the metaphysical, and we need both. It's not just one or the other. And I'm thinking back to how you said that you told your former boss years ago that, I'm following my life purpose. And I'm wondering, have you had any contact with either that boss or anyone else from back when you were just starting down this journey of following your gut and your instincts, who's been able to see how, from you combining the two, how it's worked for you and things have fallen into place?
So again, I don't believe in coincidences. I only believe in synchronicities. This past Tuesday, I gave a talk to a financial executives networking group on my book. I actually had read a few chapters and ad-libbed a few chapters in my book. And as I'm walking in to give the talk, my second to last boss at New York Life in the asset liability management division was there. I hadn't seen him in 20 years.
Okay.
And it was interesting. So we're going to continue talking, but I hadn't seen him in 20 years. He was like, wow, this is a big transformation since I saw you last as an actuary in asset liability management. He had left about a year or two before I had left. So I've reached out to a few people who knew me in my prior life, and I obviously still have friends 20, 25 years ago. Mike Perlin's a great friend of mine, and others. And in fact, I'm going down to Florida this week to visit a guy who is also from New York Life, and I've known since 1988. And so I 30 years. So I have some longtime friends who also, one could say, are mindful, spiritual, open-minded, and have seen me along this journey.
Have they shared anything with you about how it's helped them shift, or maybe just, I don't know, has they shared anything about the impact it may have had on them just watching you?
Well, my oldest friend, Rob Davidson, he read the book, and he actually said he's made some changes in his life from the book of being more mindful, taking some action, paying yourself first, he said.
Nice.
So there's some actions that people have taken. Others have said they actually started meditating, which is great because I had so much positive impact from my shifting and starting to meditate when I started my hedge fund, and I've become much more focused. I think one of my friends said in the last couple of years, you seem much more Zen-like. which is good because there are times when I probably would have reacted with emotions that I now react without emotions. And so it's helped me a lot. Tim Ferriss, I mentioned in the book, he talks about how he talks about how he's much more productive, and he's just started
with meditating
recently. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. I hope it's okay that I asked you that.
Sure.
Okay. Awesome. So we are getting to the end of the show, and let's just remind everyone you have a fantastic offer for them where they can go to your website, and will you just refresh everyone's memory about how to do that and where to go?
Yeah, so it's SaLaurMor, SaLaurMor.com. And if you just fill out a financial freedom survey, you'll get a free book. The first 10 people who do that.
The survey. Okay, and where do they find the survey in case?
That's on the homepage.
On the homepage. Okay, awesome. Okay, wonderful. So, Joel, thank you so much for being here today. Is there anything else you'd like to share before we wrap up?
Well, a final thought is I tell my daughters this almost every day. It doesn't matter what other people think. It only matters what you think. It's sometimes hard for teenagers to know that.
Yeah.
But I've been trying to teach them that, and I try to mention that to a lot of people whenever I meet them. It doesn't matter what other people think. It only matters what you think. So that's another tidbit, but to leave people with. But again, there's a lot of free information that you can get on my website, from the audio files, from the investor letters. There's actually an investment process. If you're interested in the investment education piece, there's a ton of great stuff there. But even on the mindfulness stuff, the manifesting piece, there's those audio files for free. There's affirmations. I even have an affirmation that I do every day and others do every day from the Magic of Thinking Big, which is a very, very powerful meditation that you put your affirmation that you put your name in. So you can get that on there. There's a lot of great free stuff on my website. What's
one of your favorite affirmations that help with manifesting money and that mindset?
Lucrative opportunities always come my way.
Lucrative opportunities always come my way. They always come my way. They always come your way. Exactly. I love it. Okay, wonderful.
I am a money magnet. You could say that too. I am a money magnet.
I am a money magnet. Yes. Sometimes when I'm working on, being mindful, being deliberate about attracting money, I start with green. Okay, where do I see green? Everywhere I see green. And then all of a sudden I go, wow, I have a lot of green everywhere. It's just a nice starting place.
And it's good to know that money is just energy, just like any other thought.
Yeah.
Thought is energy, vibration is energy, money is energy. So it comes from that place. And you need to know that the thought can create a thing. It can be money and it can be anything else.
Absolutely. Wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Joel, for being with us. And thank you to our audience today. You've been fantastic chiming in. I love the comments. And thank you to Debbie. I'll pop there's Joel's website one more time on the screen. And my next interview of the Every Day is a New Day show here on Facebook Live is on next Sunday. I want to make sure I get the date right. It's next Sunday, the 25th. I'm going to have Kay Sanders from the Business Excellence Summit. Very excited to speak with her. And so you can go to my page, Kim O'Neill Coaching and Every Day is a New Day show on Facebook to find out when we will be, what that day and time is. And also, one other thing I'm doing next Sunday for those who may be interested is I'm going to be hosting another open coaching call with Coach Jason Richardson of Authentic Meditations. And I'm going to go ahead and post that into the comments here as well. Let's see if I can do this really quick. I think I'll have to do it afterwards because yes. So I will post it afterwards. And so you can sign up for that. It's free and just, it's a space for people to come and receive open coaching and get to meet me face-to-face via video at least, and as well as Jason. So there's that. And thank you again, Joel. It's been fantastic finally meeting you. Congrats on your invitation, acceptance, whatever you want to call it, to speaking at the Infinite Possibilities, Train the Trainer next month. That's exciting. I hope you have a fantastic day out there. And remember to take time for you, because anytime we want to do anything out in the world, it's coming from how we're doing first. So if we're frazzled and all over the place and stuff, then the energy we put out is also going to be frazzled and all over the place. So it's okay to pause, take a deep breath, be mindful, take time for you, and then act from that place. So with that, have a fantastic day, and I look forward to seeing you all next week. Bye for now.